Pronouns, the crazy world of cuckoo, cuckoo. By the way, when French people know each other very well, cuckoo, spelt C-O-U, C-O-U, is a way of greeting somebody. It's like saying, hiya, cooey, cuckoo. Let's start seriously with a bit of grammar. What is a pronoun? Can you give me either a definition or some examples? Knowing what a pronoun is will make learning French 1,000,000 times easier, maybe 2,000,000. What is a preposition? What is one? Knowing what a preposition is will make your French 1,000,000, maybe 2,000,000 times easier. I know grammar can be a bit of a bore, and I used to hate it until I had to learn it because I was teaching French. And then, I hate to admit it, but I kind of like it. Not when it gets too complicated, but just knowing a few grammatical terms help you to learn a foreign language. And you learn a lot about English, about your own language. You learn about history and how French and English were connected. It's actually a bit of a history lesson. It's not just a bunch of boring rules. A lot of it is, but not all. Bon, pronouns. Pronouns are the cuckoos. They replace nouns just like cuckoos replace the eggs of other birds with their own eggs. You say I or me instead of your own name, otherwise you sound a bit cuckoo. You say you instead of the person's name you're addressing. You might say, hello, Nina, but then you will say, how are you? If you keep saying Nina, 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 the person's name, they're going to think you're trying to sell them something. You say he or him or she or her instead of the person's name. You might say, ooh, did you hear about John? But you wouldn't keep saying John, 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 John. Eventually, you'd refer to John as he or him. And instead of naming, for example, table, 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 eventually you refer to it as it. Pronouns are prolific, and yes, they can be a bit tricky to learn in another language, but it is possible, c'est possible. And if you can master the pronouns, your French will be much better, and your understanding of French when people speak to you will be much better. Preposition. Okay, I have this lady giving a proposition. No, it's a preposition, not proposition. So this little picture here is the symbol for prepositions. A preposition is a word or words that show the relationship of one word to another one, usually a noun or a pronoun. Okay, so prepositions show the relationship of one noun to another noun usually. Usually they indicate position, so the clue is in the name, preposition. The position like derrière, devant, à côté de, or the direction, vers, or time, en août. So preposition, think position or relationship. Relationship, okay? Taking a bit of time to learn these definitions will pay dividends. Pronouns replace nouns. Prepositions show the relationship between two nouns. The position, the relationship. So we have our subject pronouns. Subjects do the action of the verb. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. Direct object pronouns receive the action of the verb. So you don't say, do you see I? You say, do you see me? Me is being seen. Direct objects in French are me, te, le. They rhyme. Me, te, le. La, nous, vous, les. Nous and vous never change for all the pronouns. Indirect object pronouns are also affected by the verb, but indirectly. Usually there's a direct object in the way. For example, he teaches French to them. So French is being taught, that is the direct object. To them is the indirect object. They are receiving the action of the verb indirectly. The French is being taught to them. You could say he's teaching them French. Sometimes we don't even say the word to, and that's the case in French. So to, or for me, it's the Chuckle Brother time, to me, to you, to me, to you, and also for you, for me, pour toi, pour moi, me, te, lui. Like Louis XIV is both to and for him and to and for her. Nous, vous never change. Leur, to or for them. The lists are exactly the same for the direct and the indirect objects. The only differences are the to him and to her, lui, rather than le and la. And to them rather than le is leur. It's the Chuckle Brothers, lui, leur. They're the only different ones. Okay, so all of these, subject pronouns, direct object pronouns, indirect object pronouns, go before the verb. Reflexive pronouns, they also go before the verb. Me, te, se, for himself, herself, oneself. Nous, vous never changes, se, themselves. These ones do not go before the verb. Object of a preposition pronouns. So here, preposition, what's a preposition? It shows the relationship or the position between two nouns. So these ones are a bit different, except for nous and vous, of course. We have moi, toi, lui for him, but now her, unlike the her when it's a direct object pronoun, is elle. Elle, like Elle Macpherson, a famous model who was called the body, le corps. Nous, vous, eux and elle. So these come after prepositions like à côté de lui, next to him. Devant, in front of her, devant elle. Entre nous, between us. Derrière, behind, derrière eux. Avec, with you, avec vous. À moi means it belongs to me, c'est à moi, or it's my turn, c'est à moi. C'est comes after c'est, so that isn't a preposition. C'est means it is or it's, like it's me, it's them, c'est elle. And, et, and you, et toi, ça va bien, merci, et toi? So these are also called emphatic pronouns. It's the same list. They add more emphasis, more stress onto the word. We might just say, I like mussels and chips. The French have a word to give that stress. Moi j'aime les moules frites. Comes also before aussi, like as well, or to, T-O-O, or also, me too, moi aussi, you too, toi aussi. So the object of a preposition pronouns either come at the beginning for extra stress or at the end for extra stress or after prepositions. We are going to go into a lot more detail. To take by the hand, I'm sending you lots of songs with the English translations. So these examples are geared towards the songs. So it's a bit weird, but it will make sense when you listen to the French songs. To take by the hand. Prendre par la main. Me, when it's the direct object, you've got the arrow here, direct, is me. To take me by the hand goes before the verb. Me prendre par la main. You, informal you, direct object we're talking about. Te. To take you by the hand, still informal. Te prendre par la main. Him, direct object, him. Le, me, te, le. To take him by the hand goes before the verb. Le prendre par la main. Her, direct object. La, to take her by the hand. La prendre par la main. Us, we know that one never changes, does it? We and us is the same, nous. To take us by the hand, nous prendre par la main. You, the formal or the plural you. Vous, to take you by the hand using vous. Vous prendre par la main. Them, direct object them. les. To take them by the hand, les prendre par la main. Okay. To me is à moi. You've got the preposition à. No, I said preposition, not proposition. À moi. For me, preposition for is pour moi. To sing to me, chanter à moi. To sing for me, chanter pour moi. But the French don't tend to say chanter à moi or chanter pour moi unless you're a little toddler learning French. Because à moi and pour moi can be replaced by the indirect, with the funny squiggle, indirect object pronoun me. And it goes before the verb. Chuckle Brother time, to me, to you, for me, for you, is the lui, leur list. All the rest are the same, aren't they? So, me chanter. To sing to me or to sing for me. Me chanter. So, to sing to you informally, the toddler version, chanter à toi, becomes Chuckle Brother, te chanter. Te chanter, more usual. To sing to him, to sing to Louis XIV, toddler version, chanter à lui, becomes lui chanter. To sing to her, Elle Macpherson, le corps, the body, famous model in her day. Chanter à elle, she was called Elle Macpherson, or is. Lui chanter, because to him and to her are the same, lui. If you are not sure, you should know who you're talking about, but if you've just butted into a conversation, you'll be like, who, qui. À elle, you could add on to the end then, or à the person's name, which in this case is Elle, but à Monique. To sing to us, if you do the spell it out version, the toddler version, chanter à nous, which becomes nous chanter, Chuckle Brothers. To sing to you, the vous, chanter à vous, becomes vous chantez. To sing to them, chanter à eux, à elles becomes leur. Chuckle Brothers, the lui leur list. Leur chanter. Never takes an S, that leur. Direct object pronouns are me, te, le, la, nous, vous, les. Indirect object pronouns, exactly the same, except we have lui and leur. Me, te, lui, nous, vous, leur. They go before the relevant verb. Direct object pronouns can refer to people or things. Indirect object pronouns always refer to people. There are some obscure examples where they don't, but we're not going there. What does it mean then? Elle me voit. She sees me. She can see me. She is seeing me. She does see me. So many variations in English. Il me dit des mots d'amour. This is relevant to one of the songs. He tells me words of love. We'd say, he whispers sweet nothings to me. Even with negative sentences, pronouns go before the verb. So with our negative sandwiches, the pronouns want to be part of the filling. Je ne les vois pas. I don't see them. The les is part of the filling. Les vois pas. Okay? Fast French. Je ne les vois pas. Je ne les vois pas. Ne is often dropped in spoken French. Je les vois pas. Elle ne me voit jamais. Okay, you've got your ne, jamais, jamais dodger, negative sandwich. Me voit stays in the filling. She never sees me. Il me dit rien. It tells me nothing. It doesn't say anything to me. Nous ne les voyons plus. We don't see them anymore. Vous ne la voyez plus jamais. You never see her anymore. Okay, plus jamais. Never anymore or never again is a PJ. We have this man in his PJs, his pyjamas. It's a PJ situation. Plus jamais is the order, PJ. How would you say then, using the direct object, she sees you? Elle te voit. She sees him. These are all direct objects. We've got a direct arrow symbol. Elle le voit. She never sees her. Elle ne la voit jamais. She sees us every day. Elle nous voit tous les jours. She sees them every Friday. Elle les voit tous les vendredis. So you've got every day, tous les jours, every Friday, tous les vendredis. You could say chaque vendredi, but tous les jours, tous les vendredis. Sounds better to me, but it doesn't matter. You can say chaque if you like. She sings a song to me. Let's do the toddler version first. The song is une chanson. Here we have Edith Piaf. Elle chante une chanson à moi. What can we replace à moi with? Elle me chante une chanson. To me. In English, you can drop the word to anyway, can't you? You could say she sings me a song. So in English, we sometimes drop the word to as well. She sings a song to you, informal you. Let's do toddler version first, the object of a preposition ones. Elle chante une chanson à toi. We can replace à toi, put it before the verb with te. Elle te chante une chanson. She sings a song to him. Elle chante une chanson à lui XIV. But à lui becomes just lui. Goes before the verb. Elle lui chante une chanson. She sings him. We've dropped the word him in English, haven't we? She sings him a song. If you come in halfway through and you're like, qui? Who's lui? Is it a girl? Is it a boy? You could add on at the end, à lui, which has to be a boy, because to or for her is à elle, or the person's name, à Julien. Even for more emphasis, je lui chante une chanson à lui. Je lui chante une chanson à Julien. She sings a song to her. Toddler style. Elle chante une chanson à elle. But à elle becomes lui and goes before the verb. To her, for her, lui. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Elle lui chante une chanson. For extra emphasis or for clarification, you can add on à elle or the person's name, à Monique. She sings a song to us. Toddler style. Elle chante une chanson à nous, but most people will use the indirect object pronoun, which happens to be the same, but you drop the word à. Elle nous chante une chanson. She sings a song to you, vous, toddler style. Elle chante une chanson à vous. Vous stays the same, but you drop the word à. Elle vous chante une chanson. She sings a song to them, for them. Elle chante une chanson à eux ou à elle, or à elle, becomes leur, and it goes before the verb. Elle leur chante une chanson. The Chuckle Brother leur never has an S on. There's the other leur, which means belonging to them, like their dog, leur chien. But if it's their dogs, the leur will have an S on. So that one does, but this one never takes an S. Not that you care, because you can't hear it. Let's go to the past. One of the important past tenses is called the present perfect. Why does it have the word present when we're in the past? It's because you use the present tense of the auxiliary verb avoir, like you do in English, like I have seen, not I had seen. So, when avoir arrives, it becomes a crane. And it says, if we're going to have pronouns when I'm about, I'm going to pick you up pronoun, and you're not going to go before that verb, you're going to go before me, because I am the auxiliary verb. Elle m'a vu. So she saw, or she has seen, or she did see, three pasts, is elle a vu. Just one in French. Elle a vu. But she saw me, or she did see me, or she has seen me. Elle m'apostrophe A. Elle m'a vu. For those of you who care, and you don't have to, it's fine. Why is there an E with brackets after the past participle vu? Because normally with avoir, there's no agreement. As soon as your direct object goes before the past participle then has to agree. So if the me refers to a woman, you would write it with an E. Most of the time you can't hear the difference, so don't worry about it. And it doesn't matter if you get it wrong. This is one of the annoying grammatical rules. D'accord? If your direct object came after the past participle, there's no agreement then. No. Only if it comes before. So if you say, Elle a vu Monique, Monique is the direct object, there'd be no agreement. There'd be no extra E on vu. But if you say she saw her, there is an agreement. Je l'ai vu hier. What does it mean? Could mean two things. It could mean I saw her or him, because it could be le or la, we don't know. Vous ne les avez pas vus? Didn't you see them? Elle ne nous a pas vus. She didn't see us. Ils ne t'ont rien dit. Didn't they say anything to you? Je lui ai dit des mots d'amour. I said to him or to her, sweet nothings, words of love. Nous leur avons jamais donné de café. We've never given them any coffee. So in the negative, when you say not any of something, it's always de. Pas de. So you could say, I have 3 brothers, j'ai 3 frères, but I don't have any brothers. It's always de. Je n'ai pas de frères. Vous ne leur avez plus parlé. Didn't you talk to them anymore? So just a reminder here, when a direct object pronoun goes before the past participle agrees with it. There isn't any agreement with the indirect object pronouns because the Chuckle Brothers would just laugh in your face. So agreement with direct objects before the past participle doesn't apply to indirect object pronouns. No. They see. Il ou elle voit. Silent ENT. They see you. Informal you too. Il, elle te voit. We see using nous. Nous voyons. We see you addressing vous. Nous vous voyons. Now, a lot of people get this wrong. They will try and say nous vous voyez because they see the vous right before the verb. But the verb has to match the subject. Because we see is nous voyons. We see you. Nous vous voyons. Don't worry if you make this mistake. It's a common mistake to make. But it's because it's confusing because the direct objects come before the verb. He saw us, which in French would be he has seen us. Okay, we've got our auxiliary verb avoir taking up the pronoun. You're going before me, mate. Right? Il nous a vus. So he saw or he has seen. Il a vu. But the us has to go before the auxiliary verb, which here is a. Il nous a vus. Using nous, we saw you, addressing vous. Nous vous avons vu. Okay, it's nous avons, and the vous is the direct object. So if you said avez, I know. They saw her. Il ou elle l'ont vu. It's her. There's an extra E on vu because it's definitely a woman here. Can't hear the difference though. She sings. She is singing. She does sing. This is Edith Piaf. Elle chante. Nice clear T. She sings you a song. We're using the indirect object pronoun because we are implying to you. She sings a song for you, to you. Elle te chante une chanson. They sing like the Beatles. Il ou elle chante. Silent E and T, but a very clear T sound, chante. They sing her a song. Toi. Here's Louis XIV with his long hair, so he looks like a girl sometimes, doesn't he? Just kidding. Il, elle, lui chante une chanson. They sung, they have sung. Past tense, you have to use avoir in French. Ils ou elles ont chanté. They sung her a song. Toi. Crane comes along. Ils, elles, lui ont chanté une chanson. Using tu, you sang, you have sung. Tu as chanté. You sang them, to them, a song. Tu leur as chanté une chanson. It's bossy boots time. The only time object pronouns do not go before the verb is when you're being bossy or making suggestions. And the fancy pants grammatical term for this is the imperative. The imperative mood. Mood just means the mode, the way in which you speak. It's imperative that you follow my commands and suggestions. Sergeant Major. He represents the imperative, the bossy mood. The imperative only uses tu, vous, and nous. 3 conjugations. D'accord? But you don't say the tu, the vous, and the nous, just as you do not in English for the imperative. For example, if you want to say take, take. You're giving a command or a suggestion. You drop the word you in English. You do the same in French. Of course, there are 2 yous. There's tu and vous. So you've got 2 conjugations. Prends and prenez. We've dropped the pronouns tu and vous. Let's take, this is weird in English, it's a suggestion, standing for let us take. All you have to do in French is use the nous conjugation but drop the word nous. So let's take is prenons. People have to start thinking, well, how do you say let's? How do you say let's? You don't need to say let's. You just use the nous conjugation to make suggestions about what we should do. Let's do something. Prenons. So to give the command to be bossy and say take it, now your it, let's go for the masculine it, now your it is hooked on with a hyphen. It's the same order as in English now. So take it is prends-le. Or if you're addressing vous, prenez-le. Let's take it, still with the masculine it. You just use the nous conjugation, prenons-le. Take it, now your it is feminine. Prends-la, prenez-la. Let's take it, feminine. Prenons-la, take them. Prends-les, prenez-les. Let's take them. Prenons-les. By the hand. Par la main. Nice feminine hand, it's feminine. Par la main. Take him by the hand. Direct. Prends-le par la main. Prenez-le par la main. Excuse me. How do we say that? You've probably always said excusez-moi, because we use the vous to be polite, don't we? Excusez-moi. But if it's your mate or someone in your family and you're addressing one person, you say excuse-moi. It's the tu version. For some odd reason, and this only applies to ER verbs, not the IR or the RE verbs, for the ER verbs, they drop the S. Don't know why. It's a really silly rule, but that's why there isn't an S there for the informal excuse-moi. This only applies when you're giving commands, the imperative. take me by the hand. So here, you've seen that me becomes moi for excuse me. So when you are giving a command, a positive command, me becomes moi and you hook it on with a hyphen. So take me by the hand. Prends-moi par la main. Prenez-moi par la main. Let's get me a coffee. Prenons-moi un café. Get a coffee for him. For him, the indirect object pronoun. Lui. Prends-lui un café. Prenez-lui un café. If you don't know who lui is, you can add on. Pour lui. Pour Julien. Let's get a coffee for him. Let us, you just use the nous conjugation without saying the word nous. Prenons-lui un café. Get a coffee for her. For him, for her, it's the same. Prends-lui un café. Prenez-lui un café. If it's not clear, you need to clarify, you can add on. Pour elle, or for the person's name. Pour Monique. Let's get her a coffee. Prenons-lui un café. Get yourself or yourselves a coffee. Here, it's actually reflexive, isn't it? The te becomes toi, just like me becomes moi, the te becomes toi. Reflexive pronouns can be direct or indirect. It depends where they are in the sentence and what they mean. Prends-toi un café. Prenez-vous un café. Let's get ourselves a coffee. Prenons-nous un café. Get a coffee for me. Okay, for me, to me, me becomes toi, hooked on with a hyphen. Prends-moi un café. Prenez-moi un café. Let's get me a coffee. Strange sentence, I know. You're waking up. Prenons-moi un café. Get a coffee for us. Prends-nous un café. Prenez-nous un café. Get a coffee for them. Prends-leur un café. Prenez-leur un café. Let's get a coffee for them. Prenons-leur un café. The imperative mood, mood just means mode, the way you speak. The imperative mood is used for commands and suggestions. Here is our Sergeant Major, imperative. Positive commands, which is what we've just done, hook on the pronouns with a hyphen. Okay, after your verb, you hook on your pronoun with a hyphen. It's the same order as in English. Woohoo! Excusez-moi. However, negative commands where you say do not or don't, now we're back to putting the object pronouns before the verb. I'm sorry about that. Soz about that. Or we used to say at school, soze or sozmobile. Je suis désolé, pardon, excuse-moi, excusez-moi. So don't take it if your it is masculine. The le goes back before the blooming verb. Ne le prends pas. Ne le prenez pas. So how would you say, let's not take it? Masculine it. Ne le prenons pas. We start with the ne here. Don't take it. Feminine it. Ne la prends pas. Ne le prenez pas. Let's not take it. Feminine it. Ne la prenons pas. Don't take them. Ne les prends pas. Ne les prenez pas. Let's not take them. Ne les prenons pas. Don't take me for an idiot. Ne me prends pas pour un idiot. Ne me prends pas pour une idiote. Ne me prenez pas pour un idiot. Ne me prenez pas pour une idiote. Don't take yourselves seriously. The little expression. Au sérieux. Ne te prends pas au sérieux. Ne vous prenez pas au sérieux. Let's not take ourselves seriously. Ne nous prenons pas au sérieux. Don't get me a coffee, as in don't get a coffee for me. Ne me prends pas de café. Ne me prenez pas de café. So you could say ne me prends pas un café. It doesn't sound right. The French in the negative, when you're saying don't get any coffee, you say de, whether it's masculine, feminine or plural. Pas de, not any. We drop the word any a lot. The French don't. Ne me prends pas de café. Ne me prenez pas de café. Spoken quickly. Pas. Ne me prends pas de café. Ne me prenez pas de café. Let's not get me a coffee. Don't let's get a coffee for me. I know that's weird. Ne me prenons pas de café. Don't get him a coffee. Don't get a coffee for him. Ne lui prends pas de café. Ne lui prenez pas de café. Let's not get him a coffee. Let's not get a coffee for him. Ne lui prenons pas de café. Don't get her a coffee. Don't get a coffee for her. Ne lui prends pas de café. Ne lui prenez pas de café. Let's not get her a coffee. Let's not get a coffee for her. Ne lui prenons pas de café. Ça alors! Zut alors! Flûte! Bon sang! Punaise! Purée! Okay, these are all things that you can say instead of swearing without getting into trouble. So, ça alors, I'm sure you've heard. Zut alors, of course, or just zut. Flûte! Bon sang, which is literally good blood. Punaise is used instead of saying a stronger word. Une punaise is either a drawing pin or a bug, like a punaise de lit is a bed bug. And purée, like purée mashed potato or anything, like purée de pois, de petits pois. So it's the equivalent of going, well, how about that? Gee whiz, heck, blimey, for goodness sake, gosh. I know that was probably a bit of a whoo with your heads, but if you go over that lesson a few times, it will really pay dividends. It will really be worth the investment of your time, both to produce your French and to understand French. Mais, ne vous inquiétez pas. Don't worry. Nous allons refaire tout ça. We're going to redo all of this because this is everyday French. It will be in a lot of the lessons. Merci. À la prochaine fois. Au revoir.